Hey everyone, I'm Cale Weissman from Modern Retail. Very excited to be joining you all for this Collision from Homes topic panel. We have Ashvin and Fernando here, and we're going to talk about pushing retail's borders. And so why don't we just get right into it? First, why don't both of you just give a quick, 30 seconds, just explanation who you are and your companies, because they both, IPSY and Tophatter, they're both in the retail landscape, but they both do different things. And so just so we can get a sense for what they both do. So why don't we begin with you, Ashvin?
Hi, everybody. My name is Ashvin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tophatter. Tophatter is a discovery shopping app. We launched in 2011. We sell things in an auction format. Our average price point's roughly $10. We sell tens of thousands of items a day. Our app is a little bit like a game. So people don't buy items; they win items. It's a great when people are bored, they fire up Tophatter and see what's for sale instead of playing Candy Crush. So that's a little bit about us.
Great. Fernando, why don't you take it away?
Of course. My name is Fernando. I'm the president of IPSY. IPSY is the largest beauty subscription in the world. We have more than 3 million active members. And since the company was founded in 2011, we shipped more than 1 billion products. And the way that subscription works, it is our customers, they choose one of our subscription plans. We call them Glam Bag. Probably you guys know more about Glam Bag than IPSY. And it starts with the Glam Bag $12 program. And in that program, we receive 5 sample size products, all of them personalized for you according to our preferences. Then you have Glam Bag Plus, that's $25 program. Then you get 5 full-size products, also personalized. And it's a great program because the retail value can go up to $300, and customers love it. And you have Glam Bag Ultimate, that is for the beauty obsessed. So you pay $50 per month, and you get a combination of 12 products every month. The other thing that we are really proud of it is build a very active and strong community. We have right now more than 25 million members in this community. Active members, past members, people that follow us online, creators around the world. And what we do with this community is just helping each other, helping our members and other members of our community to get inspired and discover more products and have more ideas to inspire people around the world.
Great. Fernando, my first question is for you, and then I'm going to bring it over to Ashwin. But given that consumer behaviors have changed dramatically over the last few months, and you're in the more beauty space, how has that impacted the company, and sort of what are people getting in their bags? What are they wanting? How has that sort of impacted your end?
So we listen to our members at scale, right? So every month we get a lot of different feedback. So for each member, we analyze hundreds of different attributes. And that gives us a good sense of what's going on, what the members love or don't love about brands, about ingredients, and also help us to understand key elements and key trends in the beauty industry. So we can identify earlier in the game what our customers and members want to try. Remember, the goal of our program, it is helping people to discover new products and by trying. So they test the products and give them the feedback every month. That helps us really to understand where the beauty industry is going according to the members.
If people are going out less, does that have an impact on you?
Well, I think that people are really enjoying more the time for themselves now. They have much more time to try, to test the products that you send. They are giving much more feedback than ever. We see a highly level of engagement during this period of time that you're living right now. Everybody's at home. And you see some categories just jumping, for example, skincare, right? So you get out less, so probably you're taking more care of your skin, so you can do more routines and things like that.
All right, Ashwin, what sort of behavior changes are you seeing on Tophatter?
Well, we're just seeing a lot more demand in general. So there's a lot we have a certain baseline demand, and especially when the shelter-at-home orders kicked in, people are online a lot more, and they're looking for things to do, and they're looking for affordable things to do. And we see people opening up our app much more frequently than they do before. And the fun thing about Tophatter is that every time you open up the app, there's something different. Everything we do is real time. So your experience this minute is different than your experience an hour from now. And that's really served us well at a time like this when people have a lot more time on their hands.
So can both, and I'll start with you, Ashwin, but then I'll take it elsewhere to Fernando. Both of you are very data-oriented company. You have a lot of different inputs coming in from customers about what they're getting. Can you talk about what your approach to that customer data is? How does that impact the homepage experience for people, and how do you sort of synthesize all that, and how has that evolved the product over time?
Yeah, we think about feedback loops a lot, and part of the starting point for the feedback loop is collecting information in a structured way. For us, we have explored a lot of different ways over the years to use the information in a way to serve the customer. What we found has been effective for us is suppliers. So we are a two-sided marketplace. Everything that we list and sell is curated and merchandised by our sellers. And so we share information with our sellers so they can make really good decisions about what the buyer wants. And once the seller makes those decisions, once the seller picks what they want to sell, we try and connect it with the best buyer given the information we have.
All right. How has you talk a little bit about your data inputs, Fernando, but talk about how you approach it when you have so many different users or so many different customers. How are you able to synthesize all that information? How has that evolved the product line over time?
So yeah, as I mentioned, we listen at Cale, and the vast majority of our 3 million members, active members, they give us feedback. So the feedback loop that Ashvin just mentioned happened to us as well. So what we do is we listen to our customers, what they want, products that they love, and different attributes. So for example, right now, our customers can do product ratings for all the 5 products or more that they receive every month. In a monthly basis. So that gives us today a catalog. We have a catalog with more than 700 million product ratings and more than 160 million product reviews. All these data points go back to our machine learning, to our platform, to help us to personalize even more the experience for our members. So imagine that this data is not only for the digital experience, but in our case, for the physical experience, because every single bag that you send, it's personalized according to the customer preferences and the signals that they send to us. The signals also, again, help us to source the right products. So we can identify, again, trends earlier in the game, so we can bring new ingredients, new brands, and partner with these brands that are in the market to actually find different white space, so they can really use our community to seed some of these products that they have and test new ingredients and get a feedback. Finally, for us, the data that you have also help us to create our in-house brands. So we're starting to produce in-house brands with different ingredients and again different preferences that customers want, and they cannot find in the market because again it's such a particular ingredient or particular feature that they want in the product that they cannot find. That does allow us to create our own in-house brand as well.
So can you talk, I'm really fascinated with the fact that you provide this data and aggregate to your brands who then fill those white spaces. In some ways, I imagine IPSY is sort of you only have as many products as the brands supply for you, and now you're also sort of playing with private labels. Can you just talk a little bit about how you're able to sort of meet the two, where you have so many different people trying out these products, providing this kind of data, but you only have a certain amount of products at your fingertips? How when you're talking with brands, how open are they to your data saying, oh, we'll create this new product for them? Sort of what's the interplay with that?
So every year we work with 300 different brands. Normally this is the number of brands that you have in our catalog per year. 1/3 of them are new brands, right? So in this scale from more established brands to new brands, all of them, I'd say, are open to get the feedback that we can provide for them coming from the members, and then helping them to develop different products. We actually created one program that we call IPSY Empowered that allow us to work together with some of the brands and identify white space and co-develop with them some specific line of products for our members. Last year, we have 32 brands that worked with us in this Empowered brand. and you create a whole set of sometimes collection or a particular product, again, just to meet this kind of a new demand that it's happening in the market and nobody is looking at because they just don't have the ability to collect the signal. So again, partnering with the brands help us to create a unique assortment to help our customers to discover more products. And when you cannot find a partner in our brands to do this, then you go to the in-house brands and then you create these particular brands and products to serve our customers.
Interesting. Ashwin, given that yours is on a much more one-to-one basis and these sellers, they're not brands, they're sellers, can you talk a little bit about sort of how when you're creating that feedback loop, how you approach that? And you don't really have control over what they're selling, but you can inform them and tell them what does best. How does that fit into the overall calculus?
Yeah, sellers have their own feedback loop too, and we try to supply them with the data for them to make the best decisions. We want to make it easy for them to experiment on the platform. So the cost of experimentation should be low, but when they find something that works, and when I say something that works, when they find something that buyers really love, that buyers are competing and bidding on, and then that they receive and buyers leave fantastic feedback for, we want sellers to be able to invest in that inventory and scale it up in an affordable way for our sellers too. So we think about the sellers' economics in that regard and giving them the data that they need to make the best decisions. Now, we can't, there are certainly things that we would love to see, but if the seller isn't there to list it, we can't get it. We can't get it on the platform. And in those cases, we've also tried to do our own seeding of the platform to see if we can generate some signal to go convince our sellers to go sell it. But over the course of the last decade, we've actually found that the marketplace is a powerful force. And the more sellers that we have participating and the better the data that we provide to them, it's the most sustainable and robust approach we've taken.
Absolutely. So I know that IPSY uses machine learning because there's just so many different inputs. Have you guys used that kind of technology to try to aggregate the data? Has it been useful? Has it not been useful? How much of it is human curated?
Yeah, so we have been through a lot of fits and spurts with machine learning. We've invested in machine learning. We have a ton of data. We have massive data sets that we've leveraged to take that information and share it back with sellers. Ultimately, though, we found that when we measure our decisions that are being made from our sophisticated machine learning algorithms, we measure that against our sellers' decisions, we actually find that the sellers are making similarly good decisions without the complexity of machine learning. So all in all, it's kind of been better for us. Though I think there's a lot of draw. There are other aspects and a lot of draw to going the machine learning approach that we continue to consider.
Fernando, I know that you guys use machine learning, and it makes sense given just sort of the scale of your brand or your business. But sort of how do you approach that? How much human interaction is involved with it? How do you go in? What is sort of the interplay when you're looking to launch new programs or add new products to the mix?
Yeah, again, the algos are a key part of our personalization process, right? And again, the scale of the data, the only way to do that is using machine learning. When you have, almost a little bit of one third of our employees are engineers and product managers, machine learning specialists, and data scientists. But again, when you have the data, we also use humans in the loop, right? So the humans who are doing it so we start with the highly skilled merchants that you have, so they can really feel, touch the products and vet the products, right? Because in the end of the day, the data is as good as when you look at the product and feel the product that you're going to send to our customers. So our merchants do that based on the signals and the data that you get from the machine learning platform. We also continue to use our community to help us to decide what are the best products for them as well. So it's not only the product ratings and also the reviews, but also we have a community. Inside of our community, we have 8,000 creators that are people that are passionate and very talented in using makeup and skincare. So they also give their input in terms of what the products or the ingredients, again, that they are super excited about it. And finally, the final part of the human touch that you say, it is the member, right? So we do everything that is possible to create a very delightful experience for them in the glam bag. So imagine now that you have the 5 products in front of you. Every month, we allow our customers to go and select and choose one out of the 5 products. So personalization and customization go hand to hand. So, and again, the final touch, it is the member choosing the product that they want to have in their selection. And also they can add more products to their glam bag. So imagine that now this month, I want to have a little bit more of skincare or a little bit more of a color. I can do that through the add-ons program that you have. So finally, what I'm trying to say it is algorithms, people, and a combination of personalization and customization that makes the experience special for our members.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. I want to thank both of you, Ashwin, Fernando. Thanks so much for joining me. This was a really fascinating conversation. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again.
Thanks, Cale. Thanks, Fernando.
Thanks, guys. Take care.